Island Historic Festival of Motorsport. We're back here again. I'm here at this side. Doc's on the camera again, so anything could happen. That's Doc waving in front of the camera. We're in front of the car now. This, I believe, is a replica of the car that the late Alan Hamilton drove with Colin Bond to second place in that famous 1-2 finish at Bathurst. Hope you can hear us at the moment. We're sort of doing this on the fly. If you are there watching us right now, do us a favour, just send us through a message, let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. We are going to catch up. As you can see, Doc's on the wander again.
Just getting away from the sun to get a better view for everybody.
There you go. So this is the Alan Moffat Racing Ford. And as you can see, it's one of many cars that we've got here. We're going to take a bit of a walk down pit lane as per usual. Going to catch up with a few people if we can, and catch up with a few of the cars. So, Doc, let's wander around there before this battery dies.
Running beautifully too, Brett, for one of our better live streams.
Well, we'll believe that when it happens.
All good plans do come together once in a while.
Okay, let's.
Anyway, what a crowd, Brett.
Yeah, good crowd. Very, as you can see, very sunny, very, very hot. Well,
are we doing the preview on the Collingwood GWS match today?
That's tomorrow.
3-2 tomorrow in Sydney.
Okay, so we've got a couple of cars. Our mate Ernie Kamamaster is back.
That's better out of the sun.
Okay, let's have a look at this McLaren. Okay, McLaren Can-Am car. Looks from the 1960s. Just the other side of this, we've got some local.
The Porsche's here.
And the Porsche is there. We've done a story on this in the past. This is the second appearance of this car at Phillip Island. It was here a few years ago, but get some shots of this. They're going to go out in a second, so we might hang around in pit lane, as it were, and show you these cars heading out. We're just one of our hard-working, a couple of our officials.
Exactly, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
So as you can see at the moment, we've got some of the supercars out, some of the early models. They don't look historic to me, but then again, these don't look historic to me either. So you've got to move with the times. There's a lot of these cars out and about now. So the Sunoco 917 Porsche was really the car that not only dominated Can-Am, but basically killed it. The series was dominated by McLaren for so long, and then Porsche came up with this monster, based of course on the famous Le Mans car, the 917, and they built this open cockpit version. If we can just squeeze through there. We got Bob Tweedy and the Alpha MS7, so this was all sort of the local version of Can-Am. These used to be known as Group A sports cars. This one powered by the venerable Repco Holden engine. Doc having a look, just checking that out. So how's the car running?
Very good.
So tell us about this. Is the 5-litre Repco Holden?
It's a Repco Holden Formula 5000 engine, mechanical injection, and about 560 horsepower.
So this was, I believe, this was the only one of its kind ever made, was it?
It's a one-off, yes.
So tell us about the history of the car. How did you end up with it?
Robert Tweedy owns the car. He bought the car in about 2006. Went through a few hands before that. Gary Cooper originally built the car, won the 1975 Australian Sports Car Championship with it, and it passed on to Stuart Costera, who raced it in Western Australia. It was then raced by a local Melbourne man, Alan Newton, and then it passed into historic racing after that.
Of course, many people would remember it in the hands of Alan Newton for its spectacular crash at Calder, which got repeated many, many times over many, many years.
Yes, I think it's still available on YouTube, and I think people still watch it.
Okay, well, good luck for the weekend. You enjoying it here at the island?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, no worries. So that's the Elfin MS7, right behind another car we've done a story on in the past for our overseas viewers. The Lola-based Can-Am car, the Spider. Originally from Paul Newman was one of the owners. Keke Rosberg was one of the original drivers. That's the Newman Freeman Racing, and the Newman was, in fact, Paul Newman. So we've done a story on that, the McLaren. Behind that, another of the Elfins, one of the earlier models. Just take a look at those Webbers. So multiple Weber carbies there. Just watch your back, Doc. Don't want to step on a classic piece of Australian motorsport. So this is one of the earlier Elfins. Once again powered by a Repco engine, but this is one of the Repco Brabham engines.
Have a look at that. Sorry, PG.
Yeah.
Bottom.
There you go, driving through the Hewland gearboxes most cars did in those days. Okay, we're getting ready to start.
Gonna get some Porsches coming through.
Okay. So we've got the Group S sports cars coming in now after there.
Spectacular crowd over there at the shed, Brett.
Yeah, we got a bit.
Spectacular crowd. Beautiful lineup of Austin Healey's I went and checked out earlier.
Yeah,
35 years of the MX-5, but also 55 years of the Ford Capri over there. Great display as well.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of those cars tomorrow. If you're down here in Melbourne, head out tomorrow because that's when we get most of the car clubs turned up. Get plenty of action over the other side of the track.
John everywhere, Bowers over there signing autographs as usual.
He's everywhere. He's like everywhere. He's everywhere. As you can see, a huge field of these Group S sports cars. They just keep coming and coming. Porsches, Lotus, Alfa Romeo, Corvettes.
The Longhurst EL was coming out, but that stopped.
Couple of beautiful Corvettes. Classic Shelby 350. So they're going out for their qualifying for, I think it's a race actually. Now just up here.
You going to see Ernie?
Yeah, we've got a regular visitor. We'll catch up with him later
We'll play
for a longer chat. But this is Ernie Kamamatsu, one of the
How are you, Ernie?
one.
See you again.
So this is Ernie's latest toy, and we'll catch up with Ernie later. We'll catch up, but first of all, while we're currently live on In Pit Lane, so tell us about you. Obviously, you must love this place. You're almost you're almost a local.
Yes, I think this is the best circuit on the planet. It is the best overall. And I've raced in England and a few other places, but nothing compares with this track.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Hey, we're going to catch up with you a little bit later. We're going to talk more about this car.
Quick question for Ernie. What's the downy for on the side of it? What's the downy mean?
Oh, which?
The downy.
Oh, the downy. That's the original sponsors, Jim Simpson and Dave McDonald. They had sponsorship to run this car.
And you put some 3M over some of the lovely signatures there?
These are, our Pete Brock is right there, and this is the son of Dave McDonald. This is a brother, and these are two guys that worked on the original car.
Spectacular. Thanks, Ernie.
Great.
We'll catch up with you. We'll catch up with you, Ernie.
Go well out there in the black stuff.
Have fun. Stay safe. We'll catch up with you later. Okay, let's move back. Let's move out of pit lane now and get back into some of these garages, Doc.
Yeah, we'll go past the XC.
We'll go past the ex-Rusty French.
It's quite that way.
Group C machine. So we got quite a few of these Group A and Group C cars. Something a bit more modern. Ex-Dave Reynolds car. Oh,
Don't remember me, I used to be in Victoria, but I've got the oldest Porsche, the only Porsche car still racing from Porsche Cup days, and John Bowes driving it today. Thought you might like to come and have a look at it.
we will catch up with you. We'll head down later.
Behind Peter Harburg's.
No worries. Catch you there. Thanks a lot.
Just to give,
Stan
just to give
Adler.
the viewers a bit of an idea on what the camber's like on these cars. Have a look at this. Have a look at that angle. That's what camber they're running.
That's what camber's all about. Okay, next to that car, we've got the Formula Holden. So we're starting to see a few more of these around the place. So I can actually see our mate Tom Randall running around here. So he's doing some work. He's scheduled to be driving a march this weekend, but I haven't seen the march. But I have seen Tom.
Probably Tom downloading his latest sim version of his track driving. There you go.
I thought you were running a march.
I was, and then it had an engine issue. It's gonna come. Hang on. I'm just looking at.
You're looking at Carbon, probably.
You should be looking at our live stream. By the way, we are live, incidentally, Tom. Okay, we're gonna move over here. Oh, we got some in-car.
We might like this though.
Some in-car footage.
World exclusive. It's just happened on the cool down lap.
Okay, here we go.
What do you spot in that shot?
Oh dear,
What do you see?
a bit of Bathurst magic.
This little guy.
Wallaby.
Da-da-da-da.
Wallaby stew tonight.
So I take it there was no contact.
Yeah, no contact. Don't need to go to the stewards. Don't have to go to the race control. Although I think if there was contact, Mr. or Mrs. Wallaby probably wouldn't be able to go to race control to give their side of the story. So thankfully, no wallabies were harmed, and
no paperwork for anybody.
And no paperwork for anybody. I don't.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. Well, no one wants paperwork, Brett. So yeah. Anyway, we were in a March 722 yesterday, and yeah, the engine lost compression.
Right.
So we thought it was going to be weekend over, just pack up and go home. And then James Crozier, the owner of this car, the Rolt RT21, he said, "Hey, this is back at Dad's shop in Dandy South, pretty much ready to go." So anyway, here we are. So we started last because we actually qualified on pole in the March. But then couldn't start the race because the engine had an issue. So yeah, we started rear grid for that, and anyway, a bit of fun.
So you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I think that this is the 36th Phillip Classic, and just so cool to see so many different cars here, and all the fans and people get to come and see these beautiful machines run and race. It's not just demo laps; it's actually racing, which is cool. So yeah, a bit of fun, and I guess nice to get back in an open wheel before I'm back at the Grand Prix next week.
So going back to the first round, the opening round did very well for the team. Cam, of course, won everything that could be won. Now I understand also, you might be interested out at Calder Parkway. You're doing a Shane Van Gisbergen and you're doing some drifting.
Something like that, yeah. So Cam got very greedy at round one and took all the spoils. I mean, yeah, he was just driving so well. He was just in a rhythm, and I guess it paid off and didn't really put a foot wrong. So yeah, it was nice to get a double podium the first race of the year, and yeah, I guess I went backwards if you want to say, but still, like the competition was so tough. Like on Sunday, I qualified 11th, and I was 400ths off being 6th, and then that's a different race. So anyway, we still got good points, and then yeah, there's this drift thing that is in a month, so that'll be interesting.
Question. I've got a question.
Doc's got a question.
Thanks, Brett. The new tyres, what are they like? And have you tried out the new wet tyres this year yet? Have you had a test run on those yet?
I'm assuming you're referring to the supercar tyre?
Yeah, when you were racing.
So the new soft tyre was really good. It lasts longer and it's actually faster. And I mean, look, at Sydney Motorsport Park, there's always going to be a tyre deck, but there wasn't as much, and it actually seemed like you could race better and for longer. Because the problem that we'd had with the old tyre is that the moment you have any sort of wheel slip, it just overheats and you can't recover. So that seemed good. So pretty promising. But in terms of the wet tyre, we actually ran on the softer wet tyre last year, so that was really good. So there's no new wet tyre this year. That came into effect last year. So anyway, and that's been good too.
Okay, well, have fun, look after yourself, and look after the car too. This is a valuable bit of equipment you got here, mate.
Well, everyone's saying I already broke one car, so the word of advice from everyone was, don't break this one.
Okay.
Don't break two.
Good luck with this. Good luck at the Grand Prix next week. Thanks for joining us in Pit Lane, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thanks for coming down. Enjoy the weekend.
How super fit does he look at the moment too?
He looks very...
He's looking sparkling at the moment.
Hang on.
I've been off the sugar.
You've got a comparison. Anybody looks here who's fit standing next to me.
There we go.
There you go.
Thanks, Andrew. My commercial manager, Andrew.
Last time you crashed their interview, remember that?
I still remember my first interview on his show back in bloody 20.
How old were you then?
I would have been, I think that was 2013, Formula Ford. So I would have been 17. Yeah.
I thought even before that, I thought you were still in karts when you first came
Maybe. I've been on. I went in the studio. I think I've been on your studio twice. So anyway, I'm waiting for the callback. There's no.
on. Well, this is the call, mate. Congratulations. Catch you later. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, mate. Okay. Guys, thanks, Tom. Okay, let's move round because there's a crowd. He draws a crowd wherever he goes. One of the nice guys of Australian motorsport. Let's face it, there's not many of us about. Let's got some Formula Fords over there. Okay, we've got the Formula One Ferrari, which of course we've seen a number of times here. Yeah, the ex-Michele Alboreto and Stefano Hansen cars. Yeah, so just Doc will just have a bit of a wander around. We have done a story. If you look on the In Pit Lane YouTube channel, we do have a story on these cars from a couple of years back. But it's always any opportunity you get to get up close and personal with a Formula One Ferrari is always worth taking.
Now, I was in the pits walking past earlier. There is a Sierra Cosworth engine over there that is absolutely off its dial. I heard it running earlier. I hope it's going to make an appearance over the weekend. So the Colin Bond Sierra. And
yep, the Caltex car. Let's have a look.
on cue, there it is. Absolutely a monster. It sounded earlier.
So we're seeing a few more of these Group A cars. Also starting to see a few Super Tourers making appearances. I don't know whether there's any here this weekend. But as Doc was saying, ex-Colin Bond car. And hopefully you're still...
I felt like pressing for fuel, but I thought I got it.
No. Okay, let's go next door. We'll see what's in the next garage. Okay, so we've got a couple of our older open wheelers, some Brabhams, a couple of very famous, well, I suppose the most famous Australian mark, alongside of Elfin, but internationally, of course, Brabham was the one.
That's the way to cool a car down, is fix it. Take it apart.
So that's the Andrew Robson car. Andrew, of course, has driven Formula 5000s here in the past, but last couple of years he's been concentrating on that lovely old Brabham. And this, of course, is another Formula 2 Brabham, the green and gold car. And we've got the Chevron over here with the Lotus twin cam in it.
Please advise, air filters are not recommended in the cockpit.
That's the. And how are you involved with the running of this?
Yes, that's my husband over there. He would know much more than me.
He's there. He's carb loading at the moment, getting ready for the big event.
How have you been?
I've been fine, thank you very much. So you're having a good weekend?
We are, indeed. We've had a few issues, but they're all sorted now, so it's terrific. Yeah, we're very happy.
So, what's the... Hello, we've got... I know Doc's running away from me again. I'm going to catch him. Okay, Doc is doing his own thing again. Oh, that's a shame. Ross Jackson, a good friend of ours. And his Di Tommaso Pantera. So he's put that in fairly hard into the wall.
He's all right, that's my
Up there, yeah, he's getting out of the car. That's very disappointing. Lovely car. So that certainly brings out a local yellow. We haven't seen a safety car. Well, actually, checkered flag. So he's unfortunately lost that on the penultimate lap. So, yeah, very disappointing, very sad. That is one of the things about historic racing is, unfortunately, you love to see them race hard, but you don't like to see them damaged. A couple of other classic Brabhams in the classic green and gold livery. This is the Formula 2 Brabham that Jack won the 1966 Formula 2 Championship in. Of course, if you go back far enough, you can see some of our interviews with Jack, including him talking about the fact that, back in the day, they'd do a Formula 1 race one week and then they'd go do Formula 2 another week, then perhaps pop over for a Bank Holiday Monday event at Brands Hatch in a Ford Mustang or a Cortina or a Lotus Cortina or something. Very different from nowadays. You can't imagine. Well, I suppose you can actually imagine Max Verstappen doing it if they let him, if they would let him do it. But nowadays they basically concentrate on one category. Even with the supercars, very rare that you see people doing what Tom is doing this afternoon and jumping into another car. Well, it's James Crozier's car that he's jumping into, but it's being prepared at Dean's workshop. So there you go, the Coventry with the Coventry Climax motor in the back. What have we got here? We've got a couple more. Up here we've got a Lancia. I actually saw this. I think this is the one that I actually saw on the road about this time last year, picking up his kid from one of the private schools in Melbourne. Yeah, how are you?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. So what are you playing with this weekend?
So this is Mark Vermorbiter's BT23C. He imported it about a year ago from the UK, fresh from a restoration. It's a Rob Gerard team car with Brian Hart and Robin Widows drove it. It's the second winning SBT23 apparently. There's a Jochen Mass car out there, I think, which is the Hollywood car, but this is right up there.
I think they're all Hollywood cars here this weekend, aren't they?
There's a good
and a few Hollywood drivers.
Yeah, there is definitely. It's a great meeting. It is a shame it's clashed with Adelaide, but it's still good. Still good.
Yeah, we've certainly probably lost a few of the big cars and a few big name drivers to Adelaide, but really, I mean, it's the difference is, I mean, this is a race meeting, isn't it? I mean, I did have a bit of a go at the Adelaide, but Adelaide is, let's face it, it's an exhibition.
It's more of an exhibition, exactly right, and it's fun for that. But yeah, no, racing's where it's at, isn't it? You know the score.
That's it. Well, yeah, lovely car, and great to see it out there. So what are your racing plans for the year? You back doing more stuff in the Radical or the Wolf?
If I sell the Radical, I'll buy something like a Wolf probably. But I've got to sell the Radical first. But no, I'm really excited. We're going to Tassie shortly with the prototype. First round is at Simmons Plains. And then the following weekend, there's a Tassie state level one at Baskerville, which I've never been to. So I'm really.
Oh, you're going to love Baskerville.
Everyone says that. I'm so excited about it. So fingers crossed we get through Simmons Plains all right. And then it's 3 weeks after Baskerville is Bathurst. So we've got 3 meetings of excitement coming up.
Yeah, three and Bathurst this year, the Easter Bathurst, looking really good. I mean, obviously the production, the 6-hour race has a massive field, but you've got a good support category behind that as well, including the prototype.
Yeah, good card. Everyone's there. All the local Sydney Radicals will come out and join the field, and hopefully we'll get 20 plus easily on the grid for us and have a proper race there.
Now, be honest, are you hoping it rains?
Always, absolutely. Bring on rain. I prefer driving in the dry, but I just know I go better in the rain. So.
Okay, well, good luck with this weekend, and good luck for the next few weeks. It ends with the prototype.
Yeah, thank you, Brett. Thanks. Nice to see you.
Okay, let's head on out to Doc. We'll go around. Doc's going. I'm following Doc. Doc's telling me where to go, and I'm following.
Good news on the recovery.
Okay, so we're having a look up at Ross's car, and yes, unfortunately, Ross put the D Tommaso in. So very disappointing. So a very good friend of the show over the years, and lovely guy. So. Hopefully, it doesn't look like it's obviously a big whack, but not too much damage.
So how long have you had this?
Okay, thanks, Phil. Okay, so we're looking. Okay. So this is well, there's a very famous name. I mean, not the guy getting out. I mean, one day he'll be a famous name.
He was wearing a Ferrari cap. He'll go fast.
But the name on the side of the tub there, Francois Sever, a legend of Formula One racing, passed away unfortunately. Was awarded the World Championship posthumously. After his tragic passing, so we've got the march. I think this is possibly the car that Tom was going to be driving, the 772. Beautiful car. Yeah, go and have a look at that. Have a good look at that one, Doc.
Maybe not in the fall. It's probably in. It's June or July in the Atlantic car. So I've never run that race. I've always run the September race. The June-July race, it was always a conflict. I just won. It's a big deal.
Okay, so we'll.
You raced with last time, Doug Means. I know him. Yeah. He's got a red Lola. He's a nice guy. Dennis Reporter.
Okay, so just a reminder, if you're watching the stream at the moment, we are at. Yes, it is in pit lane. Although if you would like to send us your bank account details, we're only too happy to have them, but we won't scam you that much. just enough to replace the petrol and oil that I went through, burned through to get down here would be nice, but yeah, it's a beautiful car, isn't it? It's absolutely lovely. So We'll see. We'll see if we can get hold of someone here to have a chat about the car.
While you're doing that,
Who raced the Atlantic car? We had us.
We'll just see. I think the owner at the moment is in firm conversation with someone.
No, but Kate talked about him. Yeah.
But we'll
Yeah, he's about this tall. He's a really nice guy. Really, really nice.
we'll see if we can grab. Could one guys? Who's the owner of the car? You're the owner of the car. Can we just grab you for a quick interview? We are live on In Pit Lane. Okay, and your name is
Todd Willing.
Todd Willing. There's so many jokes we could use with that name. Okay, you've heard them all.
No. Could you tell me so?
Okay, tell us about the car.
It's a 1972 March Formula 2 car. Ran in the European Championship in 72, and it was driven by Francois Sever. And also, when he was off racing in other categories, maybe Can-Am or with Matra in sports cars, Jean-Pierre Jabouille drove the car in a few rounds.
So have you brought this over here for this meeting, or is this living here now?
No, it lives here. I was working in the UK on assignment in 2007, and I bought the car then, and it had been. It had a few different lives as old race cars do. It raced in Ireland after it was a Formula 2 car as an Atlantic, and then it was a sprint and hill climb car when I found it, and it had been in a lockup for about a decade. And then I gradually had it restored. Actually, just a couple of years ago we got it finished. Mike Borland did all the work for me, and I keep it here. I live in the US, and I come home for this event every year, so. It's a ripper car to drive.
So what is the engine?
It's a BDE, so it was a BDA with a slightly larger capacity, 1850, with the Lucas mechanical fuel injection.
So what's it like to drive around here?
It's great. I mean, it handles very well. You always want more power, of course, but it's a really well-balanced car and easy to drive.
Well, the turnout is an absolute credit to it. It's a beautiful car, and of course, Francois Sever, I mean, a legendary name in international motorsport, and it must be, what's it like to, you've got to at some stage sit in it and go, this man sat in this car once. I'm sitting in the shadow of greatness.
For sure. As a kid, I saw lots of documentaries with Francois in it. Actually, one year I was at the Geneva Auto Show and I ran into Jackie Stewart, and he very kindly put me in touch with the original owner, John Coombs, who ran the team, and he talked a lot about Francois. He recognised the car, and actually, when I was just starting the restoration, I was looking for material on its history, and I bought a binder set of Motorsport magazines from 1972 off of the journalist Ian Young's estate, and looking through all the other stuff that he had an Elf Tyrrell kit bag from the day. You've probably seen, in Weekend of a Champion, Jackie Stewart walking around with this kit bag. It's a black one with gold leaf Elf Tyrrell on it. So I ended up with Ian's team bag, which is pretty neat to have as well. Well,
thanks for bringing it out here. Gorgeous looking car, and best of luck for the rest of you. Might we see it back in Melbourne at some stage, perhaps at historic Sandown? Or
it lives here. If I can get back for Sandown, probably run, and I wouldn't mind doing Baskerville Historics too.
I was about to say, if you're not doing anything the weekend before, I know a track where it'll be really, really good.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Tasmania, so that's my local track.
So you know how good it is?
Oh yeah, it'll be fantastic there.
Okay, well hopefully we'll see you at Baskerville then as well. Thanks a lot, Todd.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Okay, and Doc's gone wandering again. I don't know whether you can still hear me. Not sure whether you can hear me or not, Doc. Okay, we just got to wait for Doc's just got to wait for a Morgan to come past. Okay, so we'll get Doc back from the other side of the track. Speaking of famous names, for a while, Roberto Moreno, I mean, every time he started an Australian Grand Prix, even from the back of the grid, he won it. Roberto Moreno drove this car here. Another car we've done a story on in the past on in pit lane. I mean, let's face it, over 28 years, you tend to do stories about pretty much every car eventually. But Rolt RT21 with the Honda Mugen Honda engine, Formula 3000. And I imagine that would be a lot of fun around Phillip Island. Plenty of power, plenty of handling, all the good stuff. We've just having a look at the steering wheel there. We've got cars coming out for the regularity. So these are for the regularity. The regularity is basically, it's not a race, it's just you set a time. You basically, it's a bit like dial your own in drag racing. You set a time, and whoever is closest in average to the time, that's the ex-John Goulet ran McClurk and Bolwell.
All the way from SA.
Yeah, he's come from SA. We're going to catch up with him a bit later on for a story on In Pit Lane. I'll let you know, I was actually building a Fiat 2300 for Group N Racing many, many years ago when I ran out of both health and money. Not a coincidence. Oh, look at that Porsche, isn't that gorgeous? Got a Alpine, Renault Alpine, a somewhat smoky Nissan, a very smoky Nissan.
That's not helping.
Yeah, I think
He's got, unlike Thomas Randall, he's got sugar in his diet, I think.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. There's another young Winget driving in.
I give Jacob's sister, but we can't remember her name. Apologies.
Yeah, so there's.
Breakout me.
Hey, have a look at this thing. Have a look at the Model A with the flathead. You'd normally expect to see something like that at Calder Park for the drags. Mark II Cortina. My first road car was the two-door version. Wish I still had it. This is Ernie Kamamatsu's Datsun 1600. We're seeing some of the quicker cars, some of these sports cars coming out. There goes the Porsche. The Spider's coming in. One of the Tiga S2000 cars, they never actually raced here in Australia. Okay, there we go. Hey, listen, we'll just have a quick look at the Rolt down here. Doc just saying, right? Doc.
Appreciate the officials as usual.
We've got a couple of Clubman cars here. They were huge back in the day, back in the early 70s. Clubman racing at Phillip Island was always spectacular. They used to run sort of very basic, sort of 1.3 litre, basically Formula 3 engines, and then they eventually evolved to have things like, the wings, and the car at the front is actually an Australian special that we've done a story on in the past. The Gissing Holden. Probably, yeah, probably a 202.
The red motor's turned to orange.
So there you go. So very famous car. There's the Tiga, the S2000.
A bit of colour for a second while you check it.
Okay, so we got lots and lots of cars, over close to 300 cars here this weekend. And as you can see, some of the other open wheelers getting ready to head out. Hey, listen, Doc, let's move over here. We might just we might pull the plug at this stage because we've been going a while now, and if the stream has stayed up this long, it's been an absolute bloody miracle. So let's not push it there. So hello to everybody who's watching right now. By the way, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you like and subscribe to the In Pit Lane YouTube channel. It is really important. Also, click the notification bell, and that way, every time we do something like this, you'll get a little message saying, hey, In Pit Lane's live. I'll tell you when next we're live. Tuesday night, 8:30 Melbourne time, full course yellow. Doc, me, Pete, everybody gets together. Grand Prix preview this weekend. Yes, the Grand Prix is next weekend. We'll also wrap up this and...
I'm doing a bit of I did a tour for a site tour. Did a site tour on Wednesday night, and I'm doing another full day's of logistics behind the scenes on Tuesday this week. But definitely there Thursday onwards. Come up, say hi, and yeah, really enjoy that. It's been sold out for months anyway, though, since last year. But no, I can't wait. We'll talk all about it on Tuesday night anyway on Full Course Yellow.
No worries, and yeah, so stay tuned for that. So, okay, Doc, we'll let's call it. We're going to get back. We're going to get out on the track with our big cameras now and get some footage of these cars doing what they do best, which is going racing. And we'll have that up on the In Pit Lane YouTube channel. Basically, as soon as I get around with it, I've got quite a backlog. Let me tell you, a huge backlog right now, and backlit. There we go. So yeah, so they're just watch your back there, Doc. We don't want him stepping on. He's stepping on bits of race cars. Okay, everybody, thanks for joining us here on the In Pit Lane YouTube channel for our live stream. As I said, it's not racing. It's not sort of a multi-cam thing. But then again, it hasn't cost $30,000 either. So, but anyway, by all means, if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. It is important. We'll catch you. We'll catch you later. We'll catch you Tuesday night, 8:30 on Full Course Yellow. Until then, from me and Doc, thanks for joining us. Bye, everybody. We'll catch you later.